Hi, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we are going to be taking a little practice test today on Edpuzzle. So you're going to watch the video, which includes a brand new article, and you're going to do all the parts that we've been learning about. You're going to paraphrase the key details. That means put it into your own words. You're going to use those key details to write a main idea sentence. Remember, it's got to be a complete sentence, don't use the words main idea. If your sentence starts off with the main idea is, it's not a good main idea sentence. And then you're going to take your main ideas of each section and you're going to write a central idea statement. All right, let's get started. Remember, you can do this. All right, the very first slide explains our goal. We're going to determine the main idea of a text and explain how it's supported by details. All right, remember what each thing stands for. We start with the key details. That is our base. That's our foundation. And we take those key details, we paraphrase them, and we turn them into sort of a summary sentence of that section, which is called the main idea. Then we take those and we write a summary sentence of all the main ideas, and we call that the central idea. And remember, those are written in complete sentence format. Okay. All right, we are going to read an article, and I'm going to move myself over here so you can see the introduction. I'm actually going to read the introduction for you. What I want you to notice is the bolded words, because the author bolds the words on purpose. They want you to pay attention to them. So I'm going to read the introduction to you, but be prepared. You're going to read the rest of the article on your own with just a few helps from me, okay? Now, it doesn't give you a title, but you have to sort of figure that out. What do you think the title is going to be? If it gave you a title, then it would probably be a little bit too much of a hint on what the central idea is, so we don't give you the title. All right, here we go. 6 years ago, a parent reached out to Karen Briggs. The parent, Kathy Kafka, has a daughter with severe autism. Kafka wanted to place her daughter, Maya, in a Girl Scout troop. At the time, Briggs said there wasn't a troop to support Maya's needs. Children with autism have different abilities to communicate. Some talk while others do not. Many are uncomfortable with noise. Some have trouble looking others in the eye. Some children with autism express themselves through excellent artistic abilities. Okay, I hope you notice the two bolded words. The word abilities has the root able in it, so those are things you're able to do. And then the word express is also bolded, and this has many meanings, but in this sentence, it means to share what you feel, to express, to say how you feel, share how you feel. And these children with autism, not all children, but this child doesn't express herself with words, and so she had to express herself through some other means. All right, let's move on to the next slide. And I'm going to move myself back over here. All right, so I'm going to pre-teach just a few words to you on this slide, but you're going to read it all on your own. The first word you're going to come to that you may have never heard before is the word neurodiversity. And then later on in the paragraph, you'll also see the word neurological. Now, let me give you a little bit of information on this. The word neuro is a root that means of the brain. And of course, you know, diversity means all different kinds. So neurodiversity means a group of people that have all different kinds of neurological activities and all different kinds of abilities. Neurological is referring to the brain. All right, so you'll come across those words, and you'll want to break that down by the root. So we have neuro, which refers to the brain, and we have diversity, which means all different kinds. Okay, another word you'll come across, and it's a bolded word, is the word alteration. Now, we're breaking this word down. We're taking off the suffix "shun," and we can see the base word alter there. So to alter means to change. So an alteration would be a noun meaning to change or a change. Okay? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click it to full screen, and I'm going to give you some time to read the article, the section of the article on your own. So what I want you to do is maybe grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to jot down some key details as you're reading. So maybe what's the most important thing from the first paragraph? Jot that down in your own words. What's the most important key detail from the second paragraph? Jot that down in your own words. And what's the most important key detail from the third paragraph? Jot that down in your own words. And in just a minute, I'm going to have you share some of those. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute just to read that through, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger on the screen for you. And I'm going to try to move myself out of the way. If you need more time, boys and girls, to read through this, just pause me, read it through, and then you'll get to the questions in just a second. Okay, boys and girls, pause the video right now if you still need more time to read. Here are your questions. All right, boys and girls, now we're going to move on to the next section. And this next section is a little bit shorter, but there are a couple of words here I want you to notice before we read it. There are a couple of bolded words. The first bolded word is the word projects. We all know what projects are. Projects are things that, you work on over a longer period of time. And then another bolded word here is the word interacting. Now, I notice the root inter, which means within or inside. So this is a verb that means working together within something. In this case, it would be within a community. All right, so now that you've pre-learned those two bolded words, I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to read this section of the article. And then you'll do the same thing. Jot down some notes about what are some key details. And then in a minute, you're going to be asked to write a main idea sentence. All right, let me make it bigger screen and give you time to read. At this time, if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's get to the questions. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to our last section. So in this section, or I'm sorry, second to last section, there's two more. So in this section, it's a little bit smaller, and I didn't feel like there were any really tricky words. Oh, yes, there are. The word, I noticed this word here, the word neurotypical. Now, it's very similar to our neurodiversity and our neurological. So what do you think neurotypical probably means? If you guessed, it means a person with a typical brain, a person who can speak normally, hear normally, and process information normally, you are correct. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and jot down our notes. What are our key details, and how can we summarize those key details to a main idea sentence? I'll give you some time to read that. if you need more time, pause the video and we'll get to the main idea, the key detail and main idea questions for this section. All right, now we'll move on. Oh, that was the last section. Surprise. All right, so now we're going to take all of our main idea statements. If you need to, jot them all down on a piece of paper and study them. Look and see what they all have in common. Okay, so we'll take you through that process. What keywords are repeated here? The goal is to be able to make a central idea statement that summarizes all the main ideas. It has to be a complete sentence. It can't just be the topic. You can't just say, this article was about, and then give a topic. Instead, don't even say this article was about. Just start with the topic and tell what about the topic the article went into. All right? So what are keywords repeated, and how are the main ideas connected to one another? Okay, how do they build off of each other? Okay, so I'm going to ask the question, what are some keywords that are repeated, and how do the main ideas connect? And then I'll come back. Okay, finally, boys and girls, we're going to go on to the last step, and that is to write our central idea statement. So take all of your main ideas, summarize them into one single central idea statement that sums up the entire article. All right, boys and girls, you did a great job. Don't forget to get in your Lexia minutes this week. Everybody needs to include 40 minutes, all right? You're doing great. Keep up the good work. See you next time.